Hello. And so I'm at the stage where we're gonna be using these PCMs to measure the heat transfer. Oh my god, I'm wearing my shades at the same time. Let me just put them here. So I would have to transfer this container because we're gonna be using the RT15, which solidifies at 15 degrees. So let me just take this one. So we're putting it here because I'm gonna need to pour some of the PCMs into here. I might mix it with water, and after that I would have to run the experiments. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a bit and see what's gonna happen. The PCM is successfully poured into the sample holder. You can see some bubbles in there. I've never worked with PCMs before. It's so interesting. So now we're gonna put insulation on. So we have this box here. Hopefully it's gonna be in place. I've got the results for today and I'm done. Now I'm removing the protective equipment and I'm going home afterwards. Removing the gloves, removing the glasses, taking off the coat. Hey everyone, today is the last day of my internship and I brought my camera so you can see that the quality is, well, clearly better. And for now I just need to back up all the files that I have created. There are so many versions and I've saved them in the folder. I just need to use this SD card to transfer all the files so they are not lost, otherwise it's going to be a disaster. By the way, guys, this latte, this skinny latte is so good. I like the taste. Never would have thought that a Starbucks a latte that you can find in Sainsbury's or like any other supermarket will be so good. I don't know about you, but I really like it, and it's sugar-free and lactose-free. I'm fine with lactose, but I'm not fine with refined sugar. However, the taste is really good, guys. Approved by me. Also, for lunch, I brought some coconut pieces just to snack on. And today, I'm not sure if I'm gonna run any experiments today, by the way. But anyways, see you later. Oh, and also, once I arrived to the lab, it turns out that the ceiling is leaking. And that's kind of dangerous for a lab because there's electronics everywhere. And as you can see, there are like this tiny, small puddles on the floor, and I notified my supervisor about it, and we'll see what's gonna happen. So this is the experimental setup. This is the power supply. This one are the amplifiers. Our sample holder, a fan with a thermodynamic fin over here, 2 peltiers at the bottom, another power supply, a lab jack, and this is a multimeter, a desktop. Oh, and I almost forgot, a logbook.
So this is a very simple thermocouple. There are different kinds of thermocouple. For this project, we are using these ones. You might come across these thermocouples as well, which works in the same way. So as for thermocouples, so how does this work? As you can see here, there are 2 wires that are kind of wrapped around each other to form a single string here. We connect this junction to a device that records temperature As for this junction, this is connected surface or body which temperature we want to measure. So let's see. We have a temperature measuring device here. Let's turn it on. So now it's on. What do we do? As you can see here, oh my god, it's very dark. Okay. So, there are two terminals, two inputs, T1 and T2. It doesn't matter, let's connect it to T1. So, now it is being connected. So, there are indicators on the display. So, as you can see, there is nothing in here. It measures T2, but there's nothing connected to input T2. We connected it to input T1. And this is measuring T1. Now it says that it's 28, 29 degrees. Well, it's fluctuating right now. Let's say if I put my fingers here, because, well, thermocouple is essentially a sensor. So now I put my fingers in here, and now this records a temperature of 35 degrees. It is not fluctuating. However, it might change. So, now it's changing because I'm rubbing my fingers in the sensor, and now the temperature is going up. However, so since it records the temperature, but this doesn't always mean that this is the most accurate temperature. All thermocouples need to be calibrated. Unless this thermocouple came with this temperature measuring device. If it came as a set, then it doesn't need to be calibrated. It is already accurate enough. Or if this is calibrated or not. However, if you're going to use any thermocouple and you don't know anything about it, I think it will be better to calibrate it. Okay, let's go. So this is another kind of thermocouple, and it works in the same way. The two wires that I was talking about in the previous thermocouple are dissimilar, and the reason it records temperature is because when two dissimilar wires are connected together and one junction is placed on a hot surface and the other one is on a cold surface, there is a voltage that is being generated between them, which tells us what the temperature is. Anyways, so we are connected this to terminal 1, and see, this is very convenient to use because I can place my finger directly here, and now it's reading 32.8. If I just rub my fingers, so you can see it is increasing. Yes, 34. Yeah, so this is how it works.
We have a long-standing interest in materials for storage of energy and conversion of energy. Our interest started with heat-driven chillers and heat-driven heat pumps, and we started looking at absorption, where you would heat a material and then cool it. We developed a little calorimetric technique, and that not only carefully controlled the temperature of the sample, but monitored the heat flow in and out. And as I say, we use that with things like silica gel adsorbents, which other people have used as parts of chillers, and people have used solar energy to drive those chillers. Well, for this project we took the technique and tried to look at another application, and that's the application of using a phase change material, a paraffin for example, to store heat. And PCMs can be used as standalone, or they could be used as a building. So what we wanted to do was to mock up or to simulate the daily sample of thermal radiation falling on a surface, and to explore how well the PCM would absorb that. Of course, the Peltier device, with a lot of electronics and a lot of computer programming, gave us the wherewithal to control that process very carefully. So we've got so far. We've actually been able to recommission the electrical equipment that we used some years ago. We've demonstrated that it works. We've taken some methods of measuring heat flux which, to be honest, weren't very satisfactory, and replaced them with a simpler but also more reliable method of measurement. And we've got somewhere along the line of actually cycling a sample of PCM and seeing how the heat flux in there works. We've got a lot of work to do, but that's the nature of research. And we look forward to the day where we can routinely test large numbers of samples in a comparatively short time.
Okay. So I am about to leave the lab. Today's my last day and I switched everything off. Bye bye. I'm returning the BNC connectors to the workshop.